The chronicle tells of history engraved by man into the memories of the stars above. The chronicle searches these engraved histories for a pen that will rewrite them. It falls to thee to become time's master and carve a path to the future. Greetings, friends and fellow orcs. Iagra the Orcish Fiddler here, and this is Radiant Historia for the Nintendo DS. Rep and welcome in a woo to you as well. How you doing tonight? Hope that you're doing well. It is you. Hi. And Wolf, of course, welcome in. Kappa, relaxing already, I see. Kicking up your feet. Getting nice and cozy. How you doing tonight? So I wasn't sure what I was going to do after finishing Castle of the Winds. And I was sort of poking around the stuff in my library, and I found this. Apparently I downloaded it at some point, and I was like, huh, you know what? This is kind of a neat game. So I decided to stop playing before I got too far in it, and that would be my next game. I've been wanting kind of... I want a fresh experience, instead of going back into something that is more something I'm familiar with and nostalgic about. So we're gonna try this out. This is a game I have not played outside of trying out the beginning, just to get a feel for it. It's got a pretty neat combat engine, turn-based JRPG type of thing. It does something a little different. We'll see how that works in a bit. Mostly it was like The music kind of got me, so I was like, you know what? Yeah, I dig it. Let's go for it. That said, I did update some tags and warnings below, so this is being a first-time playthrough. No tips, no hints, no unsolicited advice. Please ask before submitting any pondering, that kind of thing. Exclamation point first if you're not familiar with the rules. We keep it pretty relaxed, though. I'm not too worried about you guys. But yeah. Let's see what's going on with this world. The sand engulfed everything. Again, we failed to save the world again. How many times has it been? And how many more will it disappear into sound like this? I'm tired of all this, my sister. As am I. But we cannot give up. We must succeed in this. If we don't... Yes, you're right. We have to do this. But can we really save the world? I don't know, but we must have faith for now. Come, let's start again. Yes, let's start over. That's what our power is for, at any rate. This time, the true history will be written. The continent of Vinquer. I could be mispronouncing that. That's just a lot of vowel mashing there. A world of decay, where everything is swallowed by the sand. A strange phenomenon is spreading from the site of an empire that met its downfall centuries ago. As the desertification approaches from the west, a fierce war rages over what fertile land is left. To the east is Alistel, facing the grave threat of the Western nation's aggression. It is here that an intelligence agent of Alistel is about to undertake a mission of critical import. The most skilled agent of special intelligence. He is clad in red and rides in the darkness. His name is Stock. Now we get to start the prologue. Prompted as always. No need for the small talk. What do you want, Heiss? Prompt and blunt. Well, that's fine. I'm willing to let results trump manners. I have a mission for you, Stock. It's been some time since we went to war with Grenorg. I hear our situation worsens by the day. You hear right. Grenorg's land, in particular the area near the Imperial ruins, has faced the worst desertification. They're desperate to claim any land that can... They're desperate to claim any land they can that will yield a harvest. It's a problem, to be sure. Our little special intelligence group has been sending agent after agent into Grenorg. And lately they keep coming cropper against an unexpected state of affairs. Now it's happened again. An agent with important intel on the enemy's armaments is in a sticky situation. Which brings us to your mission. Rescue this agent and escort him safely back to Alistel. A rescue mission ought by rights to be an army job. Unless, of course, you catch on quickly. The rendezvous point is west of Lasville Hills. Another operative has been tasked with escorting him there, even if it costs him his life. I doubt you need telling, but settle this before the military higher-ups catch wind. They've been eager to do away with special intelligence for quite a while. Indeed, they seem to delight in snatching results from us. So, no backup, the military mustn't know, and there's a time factor. You're my only man who can get it done under the circumstances. The only one I trust. I'll get it done all right. You needn't worry about that. That's what I like to hear. I'm assigning 2 subordinates to you for this job. Why? I don't need even one. If I'm the sole survivor again. If that's what you're worried about, then you'd best learn to make use of their talents. If you can't do that, then don't think of them as subordinates. Consider them tools instead. They're waiting outside for you. Tools, huh? What are these talents? You're the agent, aren't you? Find out yourself. That's another skill you'll need to succeed. Moreover, there's more. I'm entrusting you with this. An old book? It's called The White Chronicle. White Chronicle? I've never heard of it. It's blank. Don't worry about it. You may need it on the mission. What? Why? Oh, never mind. Just think of it as a lucky charm for now. It may not help, but it can't hurt, can it? Fine. I'm off then. We are to meet the Heiss's agent at Lasville Hills and return to Alistel. My boss needs to not message me while I'm streaming. Also, get used to his plumpy footfalls. We're gonna hear it a lot. I'll be waiting, Stock. Hurry and find your way to where I've reached. Oh, he's coming out. So these must be them. Hey there, nice to meet you. Are you the 2 subordinates Heiss said would be working under me? Yes, that's us. My name is Marco. It's a pleasure meeting you. I'm Rainey. Good to meet you. Alright. Can you 2 fight? What are your specialties? Of course we can fight. I'm good with spears and I can use a few spells. I'm a skilled swordsman and sometime healer. You could also count observation as a specialty. I'm Stock. Yeah, Heiss told us. From what I hear, you're Heiss's golden boy in special intelligence. You're just as aloof as Heiss said you'd be. But I like it. It's how a man should act, not like those ponces that blabber on and on. Glad you approve. I too am relieved to have an understanding CO. May our partnership be fruitful. But leaving that aside, Sir Stock? Just Stock's fine. Well then, Stock, why don't we get to business and hear the mission details from you? It's a lift. We're headed west of Lasville Hills to meet with the target. Oh, is that all? Piece of cake. Not this again. You always jump to conclusions on the barest information, Rainey. So what have I ever been wrong? Well, your streak can't last forever. From what I've gathered so far, the Grenorg army has advanced to near Lasville Hills. Is that true? I mean, Lasville Hills is just to the south of here. It can't be long now before they invade Alistel. Our target is a spy who'd been investigating Grenorg. Heist claims this man has intel on the enemy's armaments. That's good stuff. If we had that, we could turn this war around. We can't blow this one, huh? That's right. Do you suppose we'll be engaging Grenorg soldiers? That's why he's sending me. I see. Heist must really have a lot of faith in you, huh? Giving you such an important mission at all. Well, I don't know about that. In any case, we need to devote all our effort to the mission. What's going on? Is the White Chronicle glowing? What is this? What am I watching? Are those two Rainey and Marco? No, are they dead? What's going on? What is this? What I saw just now. What's wrong, Stock? You suddenly went all quiet. You're not cross because Rainey spoke out of turn? No, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Enough chit-chat, I think. Let's head out. Oh, wait a sec. Heist left us some money for this mission. We're only subordinates, so you should hang on to the money, Stock. Let's hit the shops to gear up for the mission. You never know what might happen during a job. What might happen? The vision I saw earlier of these two. No, I have to put it out of my mind. Focus on the mission. You're right. We need to be fully prepared before we depart. Let's go. Rainey has joined your party. Marco has joined your party. Obtained 2 soothing balms. Field Marshal Viola is Alistel's greatest soldier. She's also called the Valkyrie. She's always out on the front line, commanding her troops. This is the office of Field Marshal Viola. She's rarely in, though. Yeah, there's nobody in here. This is Heist's room. This looks neat for a DS game. Yeah, I thought it looked pretty neat. I got kind of invested. After, I don't know, maybe an hour? This is General Hugo's office. If you don't have business here, then move along. But yeah, it's got a pretty neat combat system, and just overall, I thought it was neat. This is Lieutenant General Raoul's office. Currently, Lieutenant General Raoul is away from his desk. Obtained a charm. We'll go ahead and give that to him. Gives him a slight boost. Nobody in here either. Everybody seems to be out. Maintenance of the lift was completed without a hitch, sir. The lift is currently 100% operational, sir. This castle is the central hub of Alistel. General Hugo and Lieutenant General Raoul's offices are on the 3rd floor. The 2nd floor houses the offices of Field Marshal Viola and Heiss. Various news and information is posted here. Apparently, a thief named Bram is operating in this general area. The Desert Crow bandits have been spotted near the Sand Fortress and Judgment Cliff. I have no context for that yet. Merchants are being waylaid by goblins at Lasville Hills. A trained soldier could handle them, but to merchants, goblins are a major threat. You can't go down right now. They're running some Thaumatech experiment. The basement has a floor for Thaumatech experiments and medical treatment. The Thaumatech experiment is currently underway in the underground facility. Unauthorized personnel will not be allowed to enter until we are certain it is safe. I apologize, but please understand, this is for your safety. But I'm reckless. Fine. Oh, I don't think I checked out this room. Holy water. What else we got? Herbal tea. I took your tea. This is the training area. Listen up. Pay attention to who gets to move next in a battle. A battle's outcome can change drastically depending on who has the next chance to attack. Yes, sir. If an ally moves after you, you can start a combo. And if an enemy moves next, you can defeat it before it has a chance to attack. Okay. Same dialogue. I'm really glad they give you a skip button for dialogue. They were touching swords. Just the tip, though. I volunteered to become a soldier in order to protect Alistel from the evil Grenorg. This is the reception desk. Volunteers have been up recently. But that aside, there's a slight problem. Maybe I'll ask you for your help later. If I do, I hope you accept. Hey there, can I take your order? Everything's delicious here. I'm not here for the food, I'm here for the girl behind the counter. Do you know Major Roche? He's got a machine for a left arm. They say Major Roche is the strongest soldier in Alistel. We'll meet him in a little bit. I can't talk to this guy for some reason. This is where meals are prepared for the soldiers in the castle. It's always packed with people. You must eat a lot. You must drink a lot. Or else you'll never be a great warrior. He's just doing his duty, drinking ale. Exactly. But yeah, like, I should be able to talk to him. But I can't. I don't know why. Collision, I guess. We'll go ahead and save. Come, future soldiers, Alistel needs your strength. Hello, handsome. Care to share a drink with me? You're not my type, lady. Come on in. The wars made things harder to come by. But sales of alcohol always go up in times like these. Debating switching out your turtle for a good boy? Is that the colorful Naga man? Is that an option? He looks like a fun companion. I hear the war's getting worse. I wonder if that's the reason why all the soldiers in the city have been so arrogant. Can I read that? No, I seem to slide right off of it. Okay. I've been so mean. Sadly, no. Aw. He says I have to play the part of Queen Protea. Queen Protea is the evil queen of Grenorg. When I told Anna she should be Queen Protea, she got really mad. I thought it'd be the perfect role for her. It's not a nice thing to say to your sister. What a wonderful day. What's the matter? This road is closed. We're maintaining one of the machines here. The other two will have the good shit, the dragon centaurs. Oh. We apologize for the inconvenience. Okay, so we can't go that way, which is okay, apparently I can't go there too. Oh, I didn't talk to you yet. Can I talk to you? Oh, it helps if I hit the right button. Hey, do you know the Desert Crows, the noble bandits? Noble bandits? The other day I was walking around Lasville Hills with my dad. We were attacked by a monster and the Desert Crows saved us. I was scared, but they were so cool. Okay. So crows are cool. Got it. Listen, I saw General Hugo the other day. Ooh, I'm jealous. That's it? Okay, that's it. Okay. What exists in the past? You don't know? Then farewell. What? Okay. Let's see. So we can buy... weapons, armor, and charms. We don't have a whole lot of money for this, though. So I'm probably just gonna save my money. The city of Alistil is always pleasant thanks to Thaumatek power. But I hear that Thaumatek power isn't used much in Grenorg. Oh, it's just somebody's house, they left the door open? Okay. I might not look it, but I'm in the military. I'm an engineer. Cool. Got an herbal tea. This is the second ward of Alistel. This country was founded about 70 years ago by followers of the Prophet Noah. Prophet Noah is the only saintly being on this world. Any secrets? No? Okay. My brother told me we have to be patient with a lot of things because we're at war. But what does that mean? Where is war and why can't we leave? Good question. The Gutrals and Satyros live on this continent along with humans. They're the beast kind. They say that Thaumatek power is bad. But I'd never want to live without it like they do. The beast kind live on this continent along with humans. They don't like us, so we don't interact much. It's disappointing. Alistel doesn't have a very good relationship with the beast kind. Yay, money. Why would you leave 300 gold in a box, if not for a hero to come and claim it? We will protect Alistel. Renorg will be defeated. The general store's over there. It's a good place for getting traveling supplies. This is the first ward of Alistel. You'll reach Lasville Hills if you go south from here. Let's see. Soothing balm stings, slightly stings when applied. Got herbal tea. Boy, tea's expensive. Holy water revives, recovers 150 HP. Very expensive. Anti-poison. Let me grab a couple of these just in case. Poison wing inflicts poison on one enemy, contains poisonous spores. I don't know why I'd want that. It's kind of expensive for that kind of effect. There's an inn there. Really, I couldn't tell by the sign. Please visit it when you want to heal your wounds. Hang on. Oh, I must have gained 3 maximum hit points with that charm. Like, why do I have my bar slightly reduced? And then right now, we don't have any skills, but we'll gain some later. Can I... There's a chest up there that I want. Can I get it? No. Those guys are in the way, so there's like 2 chests that I can't get. Oh well, it's fine. It's not a big deal. If we pull this off, things might start to go our way in the war, right? Most likely. Well, alright then, let's do this! Come on, Mark, let's go. Okay, I'll do my best. Stock! Well, hello, big guy. Rosh. Cold as ice. I don't mind when you're like that with me, but you shouldn't be so curt with other guys. How else are you going to become acquainted? Anyway. Hey, are you heading out on a mission? Yeah. A spec-int job, huh? Alright, Rosh, out with it. What are you trying to say? I need to take meds. It's 8:30 already. 1 second. Oh shoot, I took them all. Oh no, I didn't. Okay. There's one pill I'm not supposed to take with those other meds. I thought I took them all. Okay, I'm alright. Alright, Rosh, out with it. What are you trying to say? This mission's dangerous, Stock. That's nothing new. All of my missions are dangerous. It's more than that. What I'm getting at is... I just have a bad feeling about this one. I've seen a lot of soldiers die in my time. Every time it happened, I always got this exact feeling. I could always tell the ones about to die off. I could smell death on them. Well, I just had a shower, jeez. Can you smell it on me now? That's right. What I'm sensing from you is nothing good. Even if you happen to survive, you'll be left with something like this like this arm of mine. Your gauntlet. They're doing amazing things with Thaumatech. I'll spend the rest of my life with this arm, but having a life to spend, that makes me lucky. You don't want to end up like this, do you? That vision I had earlier of Rainey and Marco's deaths. Does Rosh's premonition have to do with that? And if so, am I also going to die? Stock? Yeah, what is it? What is it? Listen to you. You were scared white. I really got to you, didn't I? If so, I'm sorry. No, it wasn't that. It's something else. Listen, don't worry about it. Alright then. I know you, anyway. No matter how much I argue against it, you'll still go off on the mission. A victory or defeat could hang on this mission. I won't fail. I can't. I hear you. That's the way things are, I guess. The mission is everything. That goes for you and Spec Int and military men like me, too. I'm sorry if what I said spooked you. I just had to warn you. I'm glad you're worrying about me. Thanks. But I'll be alright. Allow me to be the one to prove how wrong your intuition can be. As a soldier, I'd hope not. But for your sake, I hope so. Well, I should be getting back. Lieutenant General Raoul summoned me. Stock, don't die out there, okay? I won't. Excuse me, Stock, aren't we ready to leave? You know that guy? Yeah, he's my best friend. Well, they're buddies. Oh, really? That guy? Huh. That arm of him was pretty crazy. It's artificial, yeah? I don't remember the specifics, but his gauntlet is powered by Thaumatech. It's artificial, but he can move it as well as a natural arm. I'm sure you'll see him again sometime. Come on, let's go. You ship it? Yeah, I do too. I'm gonna do a quick save before we go out, though. Now that we're past that cutscene. Oh, I could have just saved out here. Well, that's fine. Lasville Hills North. We'll make contact with the target west of here. Looks like the Grenorg army hasn't made it this far out yet. Think they're on their way? Most likely. Now's our chance to hurry onward. Oh, well, in that case... I know a shortcut. Oh, you're talking about the path near the river? That's the one. We used to use it all the time. The Grenorg army would be less likely to spot us on that path, too. Hey Stock, Mark and I can lead the way from here. We're eager to show you how useful we can be. Good enough. Lead the way. Will do. Come on, follow us. Stock, over here. In front of you, look out! Ag! It's a robot chicken that's on fire? Here you will learn about the grid. Enemies will appear somewhere on the 3x3 matrix. The amount of damage you take depends on where the enemy is. Enemies deal more damage when they are closer to the front. Let's use a skill to knock the enemy back. Touch skill. or select skill and press the A button. Touch, push assault, or select it and press the A button. Now touch an enemy or select it and press the A button. Oh, it's a dodo. Okay. Use your skills to control the enemy's location on the grid. Doing this will lower the damage your allies take. Paying attention to the enemy position will be helpful. Yay, we got a little money. So you two can fight. Naturally, you realize we used to be mercenaries. We might not be up to your level, but we're no slouches. Is that so? So you can trust us to do our share, you know? People on a mission together ought to be able to trust each other with their lives. I hope we can get to that point. So do I, actually. It seems the wind's picking up. It does look like it's gonna rain now that you mention it. Let's hurry to the rendezvous. It started to rain. It will make our raid on Alistel all the easier, High Colonel Diaz. Indeed. Still, this cacophonous deluge will let us go undetected, but it benefits the enemy just as well. Do not limit your focus to your own situation. Yes, sir. Are you concerned because of the tip we received? Conditions are ideal for vermin to be scurrying about. Worry not, sir. I am Palomides, the executioner. I shall crush any vermin beneath my heel. I have lofty expectations of you. I will not allow control of the situation to slip away, sir. Be at ease in commanding the operation, High Colonel Diaz. So I shall. Still, the threat of vermin. I care for it not at all. The rendezvous point should be around here. Well, he's not here. Think he's dead? Don't jump to conclusions. Why don't we wait for a bit? But if we don't hurry, they'll invade Alistel. Really like the character portraits. Yeah, I really do appreciate it when games have, like, portraits for RPGs that are really nicely done. Then I can scratch one more place to call home. Rainy. Call home? Do you mean Alistel? We told you earlier that we used to be mercenaries, yes? Mark? I don't see any reason to try to hide it. He should know. Anyway, yes, we once belonged to a mercenary troop. But one day our entire force was annihilated. Rainey and I are the only survivors. It was after that when Heist took us in. Heist did that? Heist was really nice to us. This is what he said. You survived, which marks you as necessary to this history. Come with me and let us write history together. History as it should be. That's why Marco and I are here. Write history, eh? Hello, what's that I see? Someone's coming. It must be our spy. Freaking finally! Wait, something's wrong. Hell, he's being pursued. Aren't those Granorg soldiers? We have to save him. Damn it, I can't shake them. You're not getting out of this alive, Alistel spy. Are you alright? You, a swordsman in red. You're... Relax, we're on your side. There he is, over there. Stay low and hide behind us. Rainy Marco? Rainy, Marco, the spy's life takes priority. Let's be heroes, yes. Damn it, he's got friends. It doesn't matter. However many of them come, they're no match for us. I hope you're ready for us, Alistelian dogs. Okay, so the closed caption... the closed caption put that as Alice Deli and dogs. Now we can see how move skills and combos work. Here you will learn about move skills and combos. Use a move skill to force an enemy into an occupied square. Doing this will deal damage to multiple enemies with one hit. Touch skill, or select skill and press the A button. Touch push assault, or select it and push the A button. Alice and dogs. Touch a frontline enemy or select it and press A. And touch attack. Or select attack and press A. Touch the same enemy or select it and press A. This will damage both enemies at once. Use move skills efficiently to defeat the enemy quickly. That attack will also start a combo. By attacking in succession, you can create combos. Not only do combos increase the damage you deal in combat, but they also increase the experience and money you earned afterwards. If you use a variety of types of skills in your combos, such as magic after physical, the combo level increases greatly. Use move skills and combos to efficiently fight the enemy. And these two don't have skills yet, which is fine. So now we've got a few new skills. We've got left assault, push assault, and heal. Thank you for the GG. That's a pretty simple tutorial battle, though. Must have been the last of them. You're hurt. Is it bad? I thought something like this might happen, so I brought medicine just in case. This is my last bottle. Everyone recovered full HP and MP. Yay. You're a real white knight. Thank you. Actually, I'm wearing red. That's what we're for. So, then, are you alone? What's become of your escort? Dead. They're advancing much faster than we expected. This isn't Castle of the Winds. No, we finished that last stream. I'm sorry. But welcome in, Matthias? Am I pronouncing that correctly? Let me know if I'm not. Sure? Okay. Or I could call you Matt, if that would be easier. But yeah, thanks for streaming at one of my childhood classics. Castle of the Winds, yeah. There was a lot more people that had some nostalgia for that than I thought, to be honest. I was expecting it to be kind of slow. You're a white knight. Actually, it's red, thank you. Yeah, well, I mean, I am wearing red. But welcome in. I hope you enjoy your stay. We've finished with that, and now we're doing Radiant Historia for the Nintendo DS. Truth to tell, I didn't think I'd survive this far. I'd begun to despair that the intel we'd recovered would never make it into the right hands. You learned a lot about their armaments, correct? Yep, I even have detailed plans for the operation they're undertaking right now. If I can just get these back home, well... Got it. We'll escort you the rest of the way to Alistel. Well, well, looks like the first stage of our mission's complete. It'll be hard going from here on, though. Our route home runs straight through the bulk of Grenorg's army. Don't forget about the ones on our heels, either. Where is he? Where'd he go? There's been no word from the detachment that went on ahead. He must have escaped into Lasville Hills. Find him. We need to go. You two take point. I'll bring up the rear. Don't let them get the drop on you. Leave it to us. Let's go, Rainy. Hey, we're already putting our lives in each other's hands. See? That didn't take long. Apparently not. Now move. Are there any goodies? I don't think I want to go south. That's probably a bad idea. Oh, I can save. Okay. Heads up, it's a crossroads. Which way? North? Or should we try our luck down south? If you ask me, passing over the northern bridge would be the fastest way. No, we can't go north. The enemy will already be there in force. It may take longer, but we should pass through the south. Then I suggest the path near the river we took coming here. Yeah, that'd be safer. Look out! No! I can't believe they ambushed us here. Stock, what do we do? The spy! Later, be on guard for the next attack. I'll hunt for the sniper. He got away. His objective must have been only to kill the spy. Yeah, not gonna have any luck with that. Oh, for... a blockade? The Granorg army must have put this up. Something's wrong about this. They're too well prepared. I should head back to the others. Are you two alright? The spy's already dead, I see. Then we failed, haven't we? I should have been more careful. Snap out of it. Stay on task. Beating yourself up because the mission failed will only get you killed. We have an obligation to report this turn of events. Don't you want to protect your homeland? Stock's right. We need to at least tell them what happened here. Yeah, let's go. The south route is blockaded. We'll never get through. Our only choice is to head north. But the spy said that the enemy was already clustered up north. There's just no other way. Guess we'll have to break through some enemy lines. That's right. Brace yourselves. I've spotted them, over here. You're kidding me. How'd they find us already? Weren't they on their way up north? No, this is a different unit. They must be part of the forces sent to hunt the spy. That's right, they'll be coming from behind us too. What should we do, Stock? Should we run for now? No, we'll end up flanked by the force headed up north. We need to deal with them here. I'm sure we can take those guys with Stock's help. We'll have to try at any rate. Yeah, get ready. Here you'll learn here you will learn attacking using change. By using change during battle, you can switch your turn with an allies or enemies. Touch change, or select change and press the A button. Select Rainy and touch change. Or select Rainy and press the A button. Okay. Okay, I was gonna say, it's on the enemy, but yeah, it wants us to head up and down to change. The turns have changed. It's now Rainy's turn. This works on enemies as well as allies. Touch change, or select change and press A. Select an enemy and touch change, or select an enemy and press the A button. If you change with an enemy, the enemy will attack you. But using it wisely will allow you to act with your allies. This will allow you to create combos. Changing has its downsides, however. Note how Stock has turned red after changing. If he's hit by an enemy while in this state, he will take more damage than usual. This state is called a Baroque. Performing an action will end a character's Baroque status. Keep this in mind when changing your turn order. This ends the change tutorial. Oh, that went all the way back. I messed that up a little bit then. We got a royal jelly out of that. What does that do? Recovers 10 MP special honey for special bees. Oh. Really? Jelly isn't as good as tea? Whatever. You're gonna ask what it does? Yeah, apparently it's an MP restorative, but it's all good. We're not going to get to that. Your mind has been read? I was expecting this, but there are so many of them. And there will be even more roaming ahead. Careless fighting will only put us at greater disadvantage. Press Y while on the field to use Stock's strike maneuver. Striking an enemy will knock it out, allowing you to begin battle with an advantage. Let's knock them out and find a way through. Okay, let's go. Yay, we got grapple now. East Alistel, West Alma Mine, South Judgment Cliff. Well, that didn't quite go how I was hoping it would. a medic cloth. Or metacloth. Metachlorian? No. Let's not go there. We should probably figure out what that does, though. HP regen for one ally. Or one ally. A thin cloth of the Medi tree bark. This way will take us farther away from Alistel. Let's go back, Stock. Okay, well, I just didn't know if there was anything over here. So I like how you can combo like that, with a little bit of battlefield manipulation, in order to just kind of do an equivalent of an AoE. Like, that's kind of neat. I like how it adds just a touch more tactical stuff to it, you know? I don't think I can do what I want to with this, though. Because we don't have a way to push anybody to the right. I wonder if that works on them both. Let's find out. Oh, it does. So everybody on that tile gets shifted. Okay, that's good to know. We've learned Power Wave, Thunder, and Weakness Scan. What is Power Wave? One enemy physical high. Okay, so it's just pure damage. Thunder is lightning damage. Finds a weak point, which makes sense for weakness scan. I won. Okay. Well, okay, I don't know how to take the plants down. It looks like I'm doing something, but I'm clearly not. I don't know, is my sword too dull? Anything down here? There's a cave. I can't get to it, though. Alright. It's High Colonel Diaz and Palomedes, the Executioner. Alistel's rat should be passing right through here. Looks like our man was telling the truth. Stock, this is a problem. If we have to fight our way past them, it's hopeless. Don't go saying that. What choice do we have? Hi, Colonel. Please, leave the rest to me. There's no need for you to dirty your own hands here. No, there isn't. I leave them to you. I'm off to inspect the lines one last time before the invasion. I want them dealt with by the time I return. He's pretty. At least I assume he. It's a little ambiguous. I mean, you could say sir in the military and be referring to a woman. So, I actually don't know. So, either he's pretty or she's pretty. But also kind of a jerk. You're cornered, little rats. Stock, I'll stall him, but you need to get out of here. Rainy, don't be... You said it yourself just a minute ago. Someone needs to warn Alastel of what's happening here. It's true, Rainy's right. And no one's more likely to succeed at the task than you, Stock. Enough. That's an order. Go, Stock. You need to do this. I'll be damned if I stand by and watch more of my comrades die for nothing. Stock, I'll save you. A spirited girl, this. But do you truly believe that you can best me? Learn for yourself why I am called the Executioner. Rainy, Marco! Ha 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 ha, pathetic. You're far too weak. Is this the best Alastel can send against me? And now your turn. Try and at least put up a decent fight. Though you'll die like the rat you are regardless. Ouch, 1,223 damage, holy shit. Bro went immediately for the girl, harsh. Yeah, kind of. New game, what this? So this is Radiant Historia for the Nintendo DS. It's got some, it's JRPG, it's basically menu-driven combat, but it's got some interesting tactical things regarding it. More handheld, yes. But it looked interesting, what little bit I had played. So, I wanted something fresh and new to do, so here we go. We're gonna do a DS game. And away we go. It's useless to try escaping. I'm not escaping. I'm, advancing valiantly in the opposite direction. Basically, your all talk makes kebab 2/3 of the party. Yeah. Well, bye, friends. You're dead. Rainy, Marco. Loud though your cries may be, they won't penetrate the veil. The dead can't hear you now. Exclamation point. Haha, it is a noble thing, sacrificing your own life so that your comrades might escape. Yet in the end, their sacrifice will be for nothing. And only to appropriate end for the rats of Alastel. I swear, Palomides. What's this? You still believe you can best me? You needn't bother. You'll be rejoining your comrades soon enough. Or you could look to the prophet Noah you rabble believe in so blindly. Pray to him with all your heart. What do I do? How can I possibly live through this? Here is my prophecy. You will die here. That is your fate. An ignominious death, forgotten to history. A history that will be written by Grenorg. Jump in the river. No, it's too soon. I can't let it end like this. Have you finally given up? There's only one way out. Yep, jump in the river. Here it goes. This is absurd. Whee! Either he chose his own death, or did he expect to survive with those wounds in this current? I had to report this to the High Colonel. Let's leave no room for error. Go downstream and search for the body. Yes, sir. But do you think we'll find anything? If you don't, we can assume he died and his corpse was swept away. If he did somehow live, then he can't go far. Seize him at once. But no, I expect he's dead. Is this it for me? Rainy, Marco. Where? Am I dead? No. Who's there? You've come, Keeper of the White Chronicle. Welcome, Stock. We've been expecting you. A pair of children? Who are you? It's as we feared, my sister. Yes, but we knew it would be thus. Horizon's Arcane Sanctuary. You know, you may not be far off. I asked a question. I am Lipti. And I am Teo. And my closed captioning says they're Liberty and Tail, so okay. And this is... We are in Historia. A world in time's gulf, created by the power of flux. You were summoned here as the rightful holder of the White Chronicle. The White Chronicle? What about it? What does this all mean? The White Chronicle is an ancient artifact imbued with flux and given dominion over time. The wielder of the White Chronicle has finally awakened. The door to Historia has been opened. None of this makes sense. I didn't think you'd understand. Your confusion is only natural. Calm yourself and assess your current problems, one at a time. Right, my problems. That's right. What happened to me? The last thing I remembered is facing Palomides and... You failed in your mission. Your comrades are dead, and you fell at Palomides' hands. Yes, I remember now. I was powerless to save Rainy and Marco. This is exactly why I didn't want to command. I don't need any partners. It's all because I told them to head north. Damn it. Your assessment is correct. What? But don't you see? Your crucial error was choosing to head north at that moment. That was the place and time where history was decided. But you hadn't the strength to make the correct decision. That is why you came to such a tragic end. So, had we fled south... Yes, you begin to see. But what of it? There's nothing to be done now. Besides, there was a blockade to the south. Going north was our only real choice. It seems to me that our fate was decided already. Indeed, Stock, You recognized the truth of your situation. Had you changed your assumptions, you would have found a way to survive. What are you getting at? I'll skip to the end, Stock, holder of the White Chronicle. The power has been given to you to decide the world's fate. You can change the past and rewrite history the way it should be. You must discern the correct decisions from the cornucopia of possibilities. Create a chain of decisions that will guide history to its true conclusion. Stock, you can reenact the past with the White Chronicle. Don't mock me. What's done is done. The past is fixed. What you suggest is impossible. Maybe you'll understand once you've tried it for yourself. This isn't a joke? Quite the contrary. It seems seeing is believing for you. Haven't you wished for something like this before? If only I could go back and do it over again. We sympathize with this devout wish and hope to grant it. Then I'll ask one more time. Will this let me save Rainey and Marco? Wait, you asked that in the first place? If that is what is meant to occur, then yes. Now go, Stock. Do what you must. Rainey, Marco, it won't be long now. I'll save you both. Where am I? Was that a dream? Ugh, these wounds. Are these the ones Palomides gave me? Then I wasn't dreaming. Have I really returned to the past? Where is everyone? They're alive. I really have come back. Heads up, it's the crossroads. Which way? North? Or should we try our luck down south? If you ask me, passing over the northern bridge would be the fastest way. No, we can't go north. The enemy will already be there in force. It may take longer, but we should pass through the south. Then I suggest the path near the river we took coming here. Wait a moment. Wasn't this just about when... No! Get down, now! Huh? Bowman, we're under fire! Are you okay? Yeah, I don't know how, but I'm fine. All right, on your feet. Impossible! How did they notice we were here? Fall back. Let's leave the cleanup to the forces up north. We're in trouble. They know what we've been up to. Any suggestions, Stock? This is when I led us north to our demise. Well, not this time. We'll go south. Follow me. I promise you, this time we'll make it back to Alisdale together. This time? Well, I stuck. Yay, more royal jelly. Might as well go ahead and save. Barricades! Figured they'd block off the roads. I doubt even all of us working together could budge these. Maybe we should head north after all? No, it's... Stock? If we go north and we're all dead men again. Wait, we go north and we're all dead men again. But how do we get past these barricades? Is this really a dead end? Is north the only way? If you can't do that, then don't think of them as subordinates. Consider them tools instead. They're not tools. I'll bring them back at any cost. But... What the... You! Hello, Stock. How does it feel to be back in time? Alas, you've reached a dead end on this side. Both histories are giving you trouble. But there is a way past the dead end. We'll give you the power to break through. Question mark, exclamation point? Or exclamation point, question mark, rather. Superhuman strength flows through Stock's body. What was that? It tinkled. We granted you a small portion of our power. This is no longer a dead end to you. The other possibility was that once blocked... Sorry. The other possibility that was once blocked. A different history is about to unfold. If you sift through the various possibilities, you'll surely find the means to survive. Let us meet again in a time beyond these possibilities. Stock, are you okay? You're sort of staring into nothing. Hey, snap to it, Stock. You drifted off there. What's wrong? Did you come up with a plan? In a way, we move the barricades and press on. What? Huh? Leave it to me. Hold the A button near steel boxes and the barrels on the field to grab them. Move with the control pad while holding the button to push or pull the object. Yay! Although, real quick. Bronze mail. So we get 6 defense and 5 magic defense. Okay. Oh, they're all equipped with Brigandine. So yay, an upgrade. Sparkle on the ground beside the chest. Oh, was there? Oh, there was! Good eye. What is this? Can I break it? You couldn't break off a piece. Oh, we must need something then. Okay, alright. Okay, we'll have to come back here later for whatever that is. Maybe we need a stronger sword or something. You found a thing anyway. Yeah, I didn't notice that before, so thank you for pointing that out. Anything under these? No. Okay, well, off we go. It can't be. How did they get past the barricade? Wasn't the plan to drive them towards the bridge? They'll get away clean if they break through here. We have to stop them cold. I still don't have any way to move somebody to the right. Do you have left? No, you don't. Formation completed. Ow! I didn't know they could do that. Well... So I'll have to watch out for the whole formation thing, so that's... apparently that is dangerous. There wasn't a tutorial about that. If we keep going this way, we'll soon reach safety. I'll be able to return everyone home alive. Yes, it's the exit. We made it through somehow. I recognize the landscape. Alistel is just up ahead. I can't believe I got out of there alive. It feels like I'm dreaming. I owe you 3 a lot. Thanks. No need for that. Just hurry and get the intel to Heiss. Will do. The information I got will finally let us mount a counteroffensive. Okay, bye. Another one in the win column for us. Sure enough. But more than that. You were incredible, Stock. You saw right through the enemy's trap and even moved the barricade all on your own. Yeah, if it wasn't for you, I doubt any of us would still be standing. I can hardly believe it myself. Once we've reported into Heiss, why don't we celebrate together? Ooh, great idea! Mark's buying! What? I never said... Got you. I changed history, so this is the way history should have gone. Urgh, I'm hurt bad. I can barely stand. Come on, Stock, we should... Hey, Stock? What the... Where'd those wounds come from? Did he protect us somewhere while we weren't looking? He's too far gone for a quick fix spell. He needs a doctor. Come on, Stock, take my shoulder. Mark, help us out here. Right. I'm too short to lend a shoulder, but I'll do what I can. Are you two safe? Yeah, Stock, we're fine. See? No holes in me. It's all thanks to you. Good. Stock, hey, hang in there. Oh, he's passed out. Let's move it, Mark. I know this place. It's Historia. Welcome back, Stock. That seems to have gone well. Because you altered the past, the course of history has changed. That's right. I did change the past. I have to thank you. It's because of you that I could save everyone. It was not our doing. It was the power of the White Chronicle. Are you and the White Chronicle separate entities? You could call us guides of Historia. It is our duty to teach the Chronicle's wielder the proper usage of the book. I'm not concerned with how to use it at the moment. What I want to know is, how did there come to be something that can change history? With this, I can go freely back and forth in time, changing history as much as I like. I'm not sure something like this should exist at all. There's a slight error in your phrasing. Even the holder of the White Chronicle can't move freely around in time. Why not? The points in the time stream that you are capable of returning to are fixed. The best way to describe them would be as pivotal moments in history. You can travel to these pivotal moments and get a second chance to act. But you cannot change any parts of history that aren't directly related to those moments. The White Chronicle's power is considerable, but it too has its limitations. Then it's not all powerful. Did we just say that? No, that would be much too dangerous. If power on that scale were to be misused, there would be no means of stopping it. That is why the creator of the Chronicle placed restrictions on its use. Interesting. So, how will I know which moments I'm capable of returning to? You won't have to do anything out of the ordinary. They'll appear naturally as you go about your life. We'll inform you as well when these moments occur. There is one important principle, though. These moments will be born of your experiences. So I can't access a moment in history where I wasn't present. That's right. We should also discuss your injuries. You changed history so that you never fought Palomides, yet your wounds did not disappear. There is a reason for this. There are two types of time. One the whole world experiences, and one limited to you. Even though you alter the world's time, your own time will not be reversed. So the wounds don't disappear because, from my perspective, they still happened. You are correct. You may redo a moment as many times as you like, but should you be slain, you will never be able to change things. Good thing I can save the game. Remember this well. I will. In that case, there's a favor we'd like to ask of you. Yes? We ask that you not speak of the White Chronicle to anyone, no matter how close your ties to them may be. Nothing good can come of the Chronicle's existence being known. If people were to find out about this power, they'd fight over it. Is that what you mean? Alright. But what about the original owner? I got the White Chronicle from my superior. It's hard to believe he doesn't know about all this. Even so, you mustn't speak of it. We cannot tell you why. What are you hiding? I'm sorry, but we can't tell you that either. There is a good reason for it. One of the restrictions on the Chronicle is that we aren't allowed to side with anyone. Some secrets must be kept in order to protect you. That is the most we can divulge right now. Though we will guide you. You must be the one who decides to change history. You're understandably suspicious, but the world requires your power. Make no mistake about that. Please, Stock. We'll do the best we can to guide you along the way. There's still a lot that's hard to believe, and you're still hiding something. But I'll play along for now. I'll use the White Chronicle to change history and not breathe a word of it to anyone. How's that? Thanks. I'm glad you agree. Well then, Stock, until we meet again. Mother! Grenord Castle in the audience hall. The oppressive Queen Protea reigns over the people of Grenord from within. In her audience hall, she sits on her throne enacting various policies at her whim. The chaos and misfortune that transpires during the war, all of it has had its origin in this chamber. What is the extent of the evil lurking in this gleaming palace? No one knows for certain. What is it now, Iruka? Do not disturb me while I am at leisure. Mother, when shall I receive a response regarding the employment program I proposed recently? Ah yes, that. From what Selvan tells me, it is entirely too costly. The proposal is rejected. Exclamation point. But Mother, if you consider the nation's future, that program can only be beneficial. Employment will be granted to the people who have lost their jobs. Their lives will be enriched. Of course it will need funding, but that should be easy if we cut back here in the palace. Cut back in the palace, you say? But everything here is essential to my eye. This palace was built on the sacrifices of the people. It's shameful to live here in luxury while the people give their lives to maintain it. Child, you fail to understand. The citizens yearn to be in the presence of we exalted royals. That is why they toil so. Our lives of luxury are not a privilege, but a genuine duty of the Grenord royal family. Selvan says so. Mother, please listen. The duty of the Grenord royal family is to save the world by performing... How tiresome you can be. Personally, I couldn't care one whit. But if you continue being such a nuisance on the subject, it could cause unrest in the people. You wouldn't want to meet your brother Ernst and, would you? Prince Ernst never was very bright. If only he hadn't been so spoiled as to defy my late husband, the throne could have been his. Then again, that is what made it possible for me to become queen after Victor's death. The one respect in which your brother's action worked in Grenord's favor. Mother, the Grenord throne comes with heavier responsibilities than you realize. That is what makes it a position worthy of me. It is still far too much for you. Then it is you who will be held responsible for your actions on that throne someday. You will be responsible for this nation's fate. That seemed rather heated. What was the subject? Pay it no heed, Selvan. Gracious, but dealing with children can be vexing. Indeed, my queen. The fault lies not with you, Queen Protea. Of course not. While I prosper, Grenorg will be ever secure. Though the Lasville Hills mission was a success, Stock suffered heavy injuries. Rainey and Marco carried him to the infirmary inside Alisdale Castle. A few days later, so, you made it back alive. I expected greatness from you, and greatness you have given me. Heis, I didn't expect to see you here. They told me my best agent was in critical condition. How can I get any work done in my office while you're here in such a state? I told you before, you're one of my best boys. Much about our situation has changed while you slept. The Grenorg army invading Lasville Hills has been driven back. Not only that, but we even managed to take back the sand fortress at the border. Impressive progress. All of it thanks to the intel you brought back for us. We've finally proven our worth in the eyes of the military. It ought to keep our detractors off our backs for a while at least. For a while at any rate. One can hope. Stock, my boy, can't you at least act a little happier? Or does it hurt too much to give so much as a smile? No, that's just how I am. You should know me by now. Ah well, as long as you have your health. You have my next assignment then? You catch on so quickly. There is a job I'd like to ask you to take on. Come around my office later. What about Rainey and Marco? I put them on leave. The last mission was rather a strain on them after all. But they seem to have taken a liking to you, and they're looking forward to your return. I plan on assigning them as your subordinates on the next mission as well. I see. By the way, Stock, did the White Chronicle prove useful? Does Heist know something about the White Chronicle? Well, he seems awfully curious about if I use the White Chronicle. I was told to tell no one. I'll play dumb for now. I suppose it was useful as a lucky charm, like you said. Heaven knows we needed luck. That's the only reason I can see for us coming back in one piece. I see. So nothing, happened? Such as? Alright, I'll let you hang on to the White Chronicle for a while longer. I'm sure you could use a lucky charm on your missions from here on out. If you'll excuse me, I have other matters to attend to. Once you're back on your feet, come around to my office. Odd that he asks so directly about the White Chronicle. It certainly saved us, but is that why Heist gave it to me? Or was there another reason? Bah, I'm no mind reader. I'll have to tread lightly. I may need to put some distance between us soon. Stock! Finally up and around, are you? Sonia. When Rainey and Marco carried you here, I thought you were done for. But of course not. You trained too much for that to ever happen, You give me too much credit. You know, a lesser man in your condition wouldn't have pulled through. Honestly, you and Rosh both. Too many people in this army take too many chances with their lives. Doesn't it ever give you pause to think about all the people who worry about you? If I made you worry, I am sorry. But this is the job. If we don't do it, Alistel will fall to Grenord. I realize that. Ugh, I may as well be talking to Rosh. You both say the same things. Speaking of Rosh, where is he? He's with Lieutenant General Raoul. Rosh is going to be appointed commanding officer of a new corps formed from fresh cadets. If you want to see him, I think he said he would be here shortly to visit you. Ellipsis? May I help you? What are you doing? Sonia, run! Black glow? Stock! Talk about a nasty surprise. What was that all about? Rosh! Are you two okay? He didn't hurt you, did he? No, I'm fine. What about you, Stock? You look like you're healing nicely? So I am. What division are you with? How dare you turn your sword against a fellow soldier? Huh? What was that? Whoa! What the hell just happened? Did he turn to sand? What do you make of that soldier? He wore an Alistel uniform, but... you don't think this was Grenorg's doing, do you? No, something about it seems strange. An assassin would have acted faster. True. And then there's the way he died. That's one way to desert your post. That was terrible. I approve. Sand plague, most likely. It's a mysterious phenomenon that causes people to turn suddenly into sand. I've read about it, but this is my first time seeing it up close. I'd always dismissed it as some old wives' tale. It's real enough, apparently, but what would cause a person to turn into sand? The essence of life, mana, is found in all living things. They say that when one's mana is lost, one turns to sand. Is losing mana different than dying? With the sand plague, the cause and effect are reversed. Normally, when people die, the mana leaves their bodies. But that soldier's mana left him first, causing him to turn to sand and die. So basically, the sand plague drains a person's mana. It would seem so, but I have no idea what would cause that. Could it be connected to the desertification? Maybe, maybe not. No one knows yet what's causing the desertification either. It's supposed to have begun sometime around when the Empire fell several centuries ago. But did the desertification cause the fall, or was it the other way around? Too many questions without answers. What's going to happen to the continent? That's over our heads. Let's just do what we can. You're right. Well, I should get back to work. Oh, by the way, I was told not to let word of this get out. Told by whom? My boss. You know, that Thaumatex scholar Fennel in the lab next door. I told him a moment ago about the soldier that died, and he said not to tell anyone else. I'll keep that in mind. That's it for me. You two are free to stay as long as you like. Hey, Stock. Have you given any thought to joining my corps? It'll be just like how it was before Heist started up Special Intelligence. Why now? I'm working under Lieutenant General Raoul to head up a new corps, and I need a good adjutant. More than that, I need one I know I can trust. It'd be a weight off my shoulders to have you around. Then you want me to quit my post under Heist? You'd have to, yes. Excuse me. Lieutenant General Raoul will handle the transfer from Spec Int to the Lieutenant General's command. We can take your subordinates along with you too. That'll be no problem. But can you sway Heist? That I don't know. But he'll either be convinced or coerced. Lieutenant General Raoul will see to that. It's not up to Heist. It's up to you. Whatever you believe is best, that's what we'll do. This feeling, it's just like before. It's happening again. The White Chronicle is shining. What now? That's Rosh. He's dead. And is that me with him? Did I kill Rosh? Impossible. Stop. Stop this. Don't show me such things. It can't be. Did I kill Rosh? Is this something that happens in the future? In what kind of future would I ever do such a thing? I can see the hesitation all over your face. I'm not asking for an answer right now, mind you. Look, I need to go to the upstairs hall to greet the new recruits. Just think about it and let me know your answer whenever you're ready. Leaving Heist for Rosh. This isn't a decision I can make lightly. Gotta sign off. Have fun with this neat RPG. Well, thank you for popping in, Wolf. It is quite the neat RPG. And, we will catch you later. I hope you have a good night's sleep with lots of pleasant dreams. And we'll catch you when we catch you. Nighty-night for now. That book. Why is it here? It is calling to me. I do still have questions for them. I should go back there. You two. Hello, Stock. We summoned you this time because there's something we need to tell you. I have a question for you as well. A moment ago I saw a future where I kill Rosh. What was that about? Please calm yourself, Stock. Our reason for summoning you is directly related to that. You went back and averted the deaths of Rainey and Marco. Rosh's death happens further in the future, but it too can be averted in the same way. Even should that future come to pass, you can revisit it and change history. And this is the primary juncture at which you may do so. Primary juncture? Don't tell me, history branches again here? That is correct. You are quite sharp. Look upon the path forward that you have chosen. What? This is the moment where history branches in two. You can return to this point in time and space with the White Chronicle. A node has been formed here. A node. Your decision now will have a profound effect on history. If you ever want to change that decision, return to this node. So this is an important choice? That's right. Whether to align yourself with Heiss or Rosh is a more vital decision than you know. Your decision to stay on as an agent or join the core with Rosh will change your life. Heiss gave me the White Chronicle. I don't understand why. But he obviously knows what it can do. That may be reason enough to part ways with him. There are many potential paths laid out before you now. Make a decision, explore its consequences, search for possibilities. That is the power of the White Chronicle. Search for possibilities. So it's more important to experiment, eh? We're not saying you should make your decisions carelessly. We just want you to know that you needn't be overly cautious. To search for possibilities in the shadows of history without anyone finding you out. That's your true mission. Who better than an agent like myself, eh? But I want to know one thing. What is it? What's the point of all this? Before, my immediate goal was to save Rainey and Marco. But according to you, the White Chronicle is meant to bring about a true history. Safe to assume, then, that it's not for my own personal gain. So, what is this true history? If I do nothing, what would happen? The world will perish. What? It's no exaggeration. This world is on the verge of destruction. I'm sure you've noticed. You know well the nature of this war, what form its conclusion must take. As the desertification continues with no end in sight, man will make war over arable land. The end result will be total extinction. You will prevent that from happening by creating a history that won't perish. Of all the endless possibilities that fade into darkness, there is but one razor-thin path of light. You must find it. I understand. In any case, I'll do what I can for now. That would be best. Becoming anxious over having to save the world isn't necessarily to your advantage. Just do what you think is right. That may be all you need to reach a favorable history. Well, when you put it that way, sure, I'll try it. There is still one more thing we must tell you. Your journey will be hard. You will not go through unscathed. As a result, we're considering healing you and your comrades through the nodes. You can do such things? Oh, yes. but we will require mana crystals to use this power. You won't be able to heal your wounds whenever you want. I have here some mana crystals. Take them with you. Alright, I'll be sure to use them wisely. We will always be close by, watching over you. Until we meet again, Stock. Why was I given this power? Well, no matter. I have a decision to make. To join Rosh's Corps or not. The beginning has been added as a node. And we have 3 mana crystals. You can now go to Historia from the nodes on the field. Open the White Chronicle to view and move about the timeline from Historia. In addition, you may also heal the party's HP and MP from the nodes. Healing costs 1 mana crystal, so always keep track of how many you have remaining. I worry about you and Rosh. You're always pushing yourself so hard. You should hang around the city and relax once in a while. So now we can use the White Chronicle. We can see that we've got a pretty linear line up to here, and then this splits 3 ways, which, we've got a decision that goes like one of 2 places. So, I don't know why there's 3 branching paths, but I guess we'll figure that out. So we started, Stock was given orders by Heiss to meet an informant at Lasville Hills. Stock is given the White Chronicle. Marco and Rainey joined Stock, however he had a vision of them dying. Rosh shows up to see Stock off. He's Stock's comrade and best friend. Rosh can't shake the inexplicable feeling that something bad will happen to Stock. Then, Stock and the party headed to rendezvous with the informant. Upon making contact, however, the source was assassinated. Stock was ambushed by Palamedes, the executioner. The vision had come true. Seriously wounded, Stock jumps into a river. Stock arrived in a place called Historia. Here he meets the 2 twins. Stock travels back in time to avoid Palamedes and breaks through the blockade. His party returns to Alisdale with their informant. Then, Stock awakens in Alisdale's castle infirmary. He and Sonia are attacked. Rosh saves Stock and Sonia from the attack, but the invader turns to sand after his defeat. Nobody knows if the sand plague is connected to the desertification of the continent. Even so, Stock is ordered to keep the details of his attack under wraps. Now, Rosh asked Stock to join his brigade. Now he must decide to join Rosh or stay in Spec Int. Stock realizes this is a critical decision. So, what do we do? Apparently there's 236 different paths. Okay. Well, let's talk to people and maybe get some information. Maybe we can make an informed choice. Oh, busy, busy, busy. I hope we can beat Granorg and get back to being peaceful soon. The area through here is off limits. Unauthorized entry is prohibited. Fennel is the brightest mind in all of Alisdale. He's the only one who can make the thought machines that allow even new recruits to fight like pros. In other words, I would stay out of his way if I were you. Big machine thing here. I'm nearly finished with this thaw machine. Don't interrupt me unless you can be of some use. Is he basically a head in a machine? This is the medical floor. Dr. Sonia is the central figure on this floor. Sonia put these flowers here. Sonia is researching the connection between nature and mana. Merchants are being waylaid by goblins, still. Bram is operating in the area. Desert Crow bandits have been spotted near the Sound Fortress, so we know that already. This is the reception desk. Volunteers have been up. Slight problem. Ask for help later. Okay, so that hasn't changed. I think everybody kind of says the same thing. I wonder if... Hang on. I want to see if they're done over here. I want those 2 chests. No, you guys are still working. Come on. There's goodies over there. Yo, Stock, have you have your answer yet? Will you stay as Heiss's man or join my team? This is where history splits. I need to think carefully about this decision. Well... do a 5-minute poll. What do we think? Should we join Rosh's brigade, or should we stay under Heiss? Just kind of thinking on it, I would say, I mean, if we join Rosh's brigade, we are putting some distance between us and Heiss, which he's got an interest in this chronicle. We don't know why. If we stay under Heiss, that could put some things at risk, which seems like that's bad, but we might also learn what his reasoning is, like why he's doing what he's doing. What do you all think? So far, we've got 1 vote for staying under Heiss. There's always the possibility that if we join Rosh's brigade, we might be able to ship these 2. Insert eyebrow waggle here. So you never know. Or if somebody like SG or HG are watching, they might just tie the poll and just make me figure out a decision. Oh, of course. Well, we've got 1 for Rosh and 1 for Heiss. So... you guys are gonna make me think, aren't you? Okay, I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick while you guys vote. I'll be right back.
Don't tie the pole while I'm gone. Don't keep it tied.
water go up my nose. I went to get a drink. And it's gonna... It's one of those things with the... Quick, keep it tight. No! You're gonna make me decide? Ah! Hurry, someone break it. No, we're running out of time. No! Okay, it's tied. I get to make the decision. Dang it. Okay. Alright. Can I just rethink? Give me some more time to think. Sure, think it over thoroughly. But let me give you my input. I know you'll make a great second in command. Just keep that in mind. Okay. So, we know we can come back here at any time, so we shouldn't over-agonize over this. I think the real question we're asking ourselves is, do we want to put distance between us and Heiss, with whatever fallout that entails, or do we want to stick close to Heiss and maybe learn more of what he knows? Or do we just want these two to be shipped? Like, just put them in the same tent? I think for now, since we can come back here. Oh, Rosh. I'd be happy to join you in your tent. Wait, what? Join Rosh's brigade. Is that really what I should do? Rosh, I'm thinking of joining your brigade. That's good to hear. To tell you the truth, I wasn't confident I could handle training all the rookies myself. I'm glad to have you aboard. I'm going to inform Lieutenant General Raoul of your decision. He should get all the paperwork set in motion. Dear children of Alistel, I have come bearing the word of the prophet Noah. Alistel Castle, Noah Square. The Savior Noah delivered Alistel from Grenorg's oppression at the young age of 16. He is revered as a saint, but 70 years later, he no longer makes public appearances. When Noah has a proclamation to deliver, General Hugo serves as his mouthpiece. These proclamations are delivered in a corner of Alistel Castle commonly known as Noah Square. The common folk are not normally permitted. On the eve of his proclamations, it is opened up. The people come in throngs, eager for Noah's reassurance in a time of war and uncertainty. It's General Hugo! General Hugo has arrived! Yay! Question mark. Advocate General Hugo, what saith the prophet Noah? Tell us, General Hugo. Blessed are you, beloved children of the prophet Noah. Hush now. Unsainted believers in the light, I will now reveal to you all the message entrusted to me by the prophet Noah. He's probably dead, isn't he? Ah, please give us the prophet's holy message. The prophet Noah has spoken. Now is the hour when the melted snow shall water the sandy soil. What is this melted snow? The land of Alistel is embraced by snow-capped mountains where the high gods dwell. If there are any who yearn for peace, the snow shall melt, and the deserts will have succor. In truth, the melted snow refers to you, the people. Us? Blessed children of the frigid lands of Alistel, you will descend upon the tainted land of Granorg and purify it. Oh, this sounds great. That is the prophet's most devout wish. What should we do? This too has the prophet Noah foreseen. The source of the taint is the ancient kingdom of Granorg. Festering at the heart of this source is the evil enthroned there. Protea. He means Queen Protea. That Granorg tyrant is evil in human form. The prophet believes in you. He has seen the children of the pure melted snow ridding the land of these impurities. He knows that the power of each of Alistel's children will add to this crusade's success. That's right, this is a crusade. We have to pry Granorg back out of Queen Protea's claws. If victory in Granorg is what the prophet Noah wants, that's what we'll work towards. Go forth, my children. Oh, what is that pose? He's shaking his fists and... is he wiggling his lips? You know what, I'm not going to question this. The waters of the pure melted snow shall rid the world of this evil. Death to the evil Queen Protea. Yay, great, we've created a mob. We'll prove the prophet Noah's power to the world. Do not forget, the melted snow shall also nourish this desertified world. Great, so we're going to spill our blood and that'll make plants grow? That's right, we'll be the ones who save the world. Yeah, I don't know about that. In the prophet Noah's holy name, our salvation begins now. Praise be to the prophet. Glory to Alistel. May our crusade be victorious. This doesn't feel bad at all, guys. Melted snow, huh? No matter how often I see your theatrics, General Hugo, they never cease to amaze. We'll be seeing a bump in the ranks of enlisted men soon, I expect. He's certainly comfortable in the role of the prophet's mouthpiece. But if he doesn't keep his wits about him, someday he'll find that... Lieutenant General Raoul, sir, may I come in? Oh, shoot, I've got to stop monologuing like this. Of course, the door's unlocked. I hope you weren't listening at it. I was kind of monologuing, kind of loud there. Excuse me, sir, I know you must be busy with all your monologuing. Think nothing of it, so what brings you here? It's the matter of the adjutant for my brigade. I think I may have mentioned it. Oh, Stock, yes, I remember. Did he see things your way? Yes, sir. I'm already dreading this decision. He said he'd be fine with... that he'd be glad to sign on with my brigade. Rosh, it's just me. You can relax a little. You don't have to act differently around me. It makes things easier between us, and besides, I know it's not your style. Then again, if you continue to rise through the ranks, you'll need to act more like a leader. I see. Anyway, that's the long and the short of it. Stock will be my adjutant. Alright, the documents are already prepared, so I'll get them to personnel right away. Do you think Heiss is going to be okay with this? Technically, you'll be taking Stock from under his nose. You have a point there. But the lack of skilled officers in our army is a real problem. And Heiss's Special Intelligence Group has no official sanction, let alone veto power. Do I remember right that he created it without permission when he first came here? You do indeed. Plus, Stock was a military man for a year before Heiss formed Special Intelligence. With Specint still an unofficial outfit on paper, Stock is still a soldier. When you think about it that way, it's only natural for Stock to be recalled. There's no reason to let Heiss hog the top talent for his unofficial pet projects. Though I suppose it's his pet project that saved Alistel more than once. I see what you're saying. But official documentation aside, do you think Heist will take this lying down? Don't worry, he's no fool. Present him with an unshakable argument, and he won't press the point. Instead, he'll find a less direct means of getting even. That's what you expected, right? Yeah, I thought as much. There's no way he'd take this lying down. That sort of thing is part and parcel for any big organization. It's the nature of society. Just tread lightly. Yes, sir. Well then, shall we talk of something else? You know, headquarters has given the order for your brigade to go into action. Do they understand that my brigade is made of fresh meat? They're all civilians. None of them had ever touched a weapon until just recently. They understand, yes. Alright. Stock will be with us. I'm sure we'll make it through. Fine attitude. You seem to have a lot of faith in Stock. He has some personality quirks, but to my knowledge, his skills are unparalleled. Maybe so. I'll look forward to seeing what he can do. Rosh, looks like we'll be playing the part of the melted snow. Sorry? You didn't hear General Hugo's speech? Oh, you mean when he delivered the Prophet Noah's proclamation? The cheers were deafening. It was indeed a stirring speech. We'll be drowning in enlisted men once more. It'll be as if the snow from the mountaintop suddenly melted. I'll do my best to bring them back alive. That's my job. Well said. Now then, let's go over the details of your mission. Drowning in men? Could be. What do you think's up with the transfer to, or up with this transfer to a new brigade? It's a far cry from Spec-Int, and we'll be working under Stock. It seems the people officially in charge did some reshuffling of personnel. It came down from the army, so I guess General Hugo or Lieutenant General Raoul was involved. Probably right. Heist would have said something. Seems like a crazy way to do things, doesn't it? Who can say? They decide, we obey. I feel sorry for Heist, but we should do our best in our new brigade. Yeah. Whatever department we're in, we're still working to protect Alistel. Oh, that reminds me. Our new captain. Rosh, was it? He's a friend of yours, isn't he, Stock? Yes. This was some time ago, but back when I was in the army, we fought side by side. An old friend of yours, eh? I wonder what he's like. Oh, I could tell you stories, sweetheart. Ah, Captain! He gets his own theme music and everything. Does he have speakers on that arm that's playing his music? Huh? Hey, you're the guy Stock was talking to on the outskirts of the city the other day. Oh, you're the new captain, huh? The nerve of you speaking to your captain like that. It's okay. I'm not really one for formalities anyway. But Captain, you have to set a good example for the brigade. Come on, let's discuss the mission. I may as well say we've already got marching orders. Our destination is the Alma Mine in the Western Mountains. A mine? The mine's west of Lasville Hills. It's a strategic location that passes through the mountain interior to Grenorg territory. And it seems it's been invaded. Our mission is to drive Grenorg out of the mine. Grenorg's side should have been sealed. It used to be. But apparently they blew open the seal and forced their way in. That's rather reckless, setting off explosives at an old mine. Why would they do such a thing? Because of the Sand Fortress. You've heard that Alistel took it back recently? If Grenorg wants to attack us, they have to capture the Sand Fortress first. But that's easier said than done. It's well fortified and takes a lot of planning and effort. So they're eyeing the Alma mine as an alternate route, one that gets around the Sand Fortress. I see. By the way, who's that with you? Oh, right, you already heard that my brigade is composed of new cadets. Gay arm flailing? Is that what the metal one? Wait, hold on. Which is the gay arm? His metal one or his flesh one? And I need to take a pill, hang on. I almost dropped my cap. Neither, it's me flailing. Oh, okay, so flesh arms. Unless you've got a metal arm, Keppa. He's sort of the leader of the Fresh Faces. You got the Tame Dragon Kin skill card, so anytime you start a new build, you can guarantee to have a Durg friend. Yay, Durg friends! It's always good to have dragon friends. My name's Keel, sir. Oh, you're not just some random Yahoo? Oh, well, you've got a portrait, so I guess you must be important. That's a terrible thing to say, though. You've got a portrait in this game. You must be important. I've heard a lot about you from Captain Rosh. He's always wanted to be in the army. He visited us all the time just to watch us train. I eventually got to know him, so I told him about you. I'm great at fencing. Well, great at ritual sword dancing, technically. But the captain told me he knew someone who was much better with a sword. You have a face, I guess I have to care about you. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Me, I assume. Yes, sir. I'll train hard to someday be as good as you are, Sergeant. Well, Stock, how's it feel to be someone's role model? Oh, he's in trouble. You're not as shady a guy as you think. If you say so, sure. Good to meet you, Keel. The honor's all mine. If the chance comes up, I'd like to see these sword skills of yours. Particularly the sword dancing you mentioned. Is Stock propositioning Keel? Well, he seems happy about it. Of course, sir. I'd be honored to, Sergeant. Oh my gosh. How many ships are we gonna have in this game? Also, the Sergeant is a bit much. Just call me Stock. But then I wouldn't be setting a good example. I have to call you Sergeant, Sergeant. Back off, Keel. He's ours. Looks like the introductions went smashingly. See, I was right to make you my adjutant. Adjutant. Okay, closed captioning is being goofy. It got it right every other time. Thing is, I'm sorry to put this on you, but I need you to be the vanguard of this brigade. None of these new soldiers have any combat experience. I need trained men in the vanguard. So that's why Mark and I were re-signed here. I see your point. It's the best way to keep casualties to a minimum. Have I been... Oh my god, hang on. I've been going this whole time without my jaw moving. I totally forgot to turn it on. Oh well. I'll join in as well anytime you need my help. Just say the word. Keel's squad will be providing support directly behind us. Not just for that, though. I also want to give them a chance to see you guys in action. I'll try real hard not to be a burden. That's not reassuring, Keel. Alright, let's get going. Oh, and about our equipment. The Army didn't give us any. We get this instead. Oh boy, more money. You know, and I know it's not much, but let's keep that to ourselves. Stop by the weapon shop and use your judgment on what we'll need. We should be off. Up to 3 of your party members can participate in battle. You can reorganize your party from the party section of the main menu. A mine, huh? Joining Roche Brigade has been added as an event. Okay. Wow, he's kind of beefy. Also, he's 3 levels higher than we are. Grave Tuck. 1 column physical. Left assault knocks target left. So he doesn't have as many tactical things as Stock does. So I would say he's probably kind of interchangeable with Rainy. Rainy having some magic and Roche having, I guess, a bit more offense. Should we be level 7? Like, are we under-leveled? Left assault. You could say he's half-assing it. Perhaps so. What do you wield? You use lances. As do you. Alright, well, let's see what, Oh, this is the wrong floor. We want to go to the second floor. Let's see what Heist... Oh, Heist isn't even here. I was gonna say, let's see what he has to say about our bailing on him, but, eh. There's nobody in here either. Hello? There we go. Do they go into their offices at any point? Oh well. You're still working on it? Come on, guys. How long does it take to fix whatever it is you're fixing? Okay, he still says the same thing. Are you new? Hear lots of stories when you hang out in a tavern. Alcohol brings out the truth. Does it? Hello, handsome. Care to share a drink with me? No. The war's getting worse. I wonder if that's the... Okay, that's not anything new. Okay, well, if there's any truth to be had in the bar, we ain't finding it. Wait a minute. What exists in the past? You don't know? Then farewell. Let's see. Wait, what is everybody equipped with? Bronze sword, light sword. Okay. We're okay on money, but everything is so expensive. Okay, so if we buy 2 of these, that's 1,400. And these are 1,600. Maybe we just get the regular bronze spear? That would be... Oh, that's 2,000. That's like nearly all of our money. There's 14, 12... Need to take off for late meal and bed? No worries, Keppa. I hope you enjoy your meal and have a good night's sleep with lots of pleasant dreams. We will see how far we get with our ship sailing. But we'll catch you later. Thank you for stopping in. Nighty-night for now. I guess we'll buy one of these. And we'll give you the bronze sword. Oh, I went the wrong way. I was looking for the item shop. Although we never went inside the inn, so I wonder if there's anybody there for us to talk to. I have a feeling that we're gonna get poisoned a lot, considering how cheap that is. I have... What? I have mana crystals from the Sadaros. Only 5,000 gold. Do you want one? I don't need it. I see. Well, it's your loss. That's so much money. Is there anybody in these rooms that we can talk to? Oh, there's a chest. Beast skins. Okay, well, I guess stock is the only one that can use those. And made of durable dermis. I guess it's got a little bit more magic defense, but eh. I have a feeling it's going to be for somebody else that joins us who can't wear heavy armor. We'll just hold on to it for now. I wouldn't call it an upgrade right now. What does it cost to sleep? 50 gold? Boy. Okay, we'll do a quick save. We can go to the book by pressing Y. Oh, we just go right there. Okay. Okay, I guess we start here. Okay, we need to go west. South blocked by rock slide. Oops. Jeez, that's a huge lance. Don't read into that. That's a good thing Kappa left. he'd probably give me a good eyebrow waggle at that one. I don't like the initiative on this. There's 5 creatures in this. Oh, this does a whole column? Oh, I see. So that is very much an AoE. Shoot, and I can't rearrange the party, can I? No. Okay. Well, we'll get 3 of them. And then I guess we'll just keep attacking the square. We're still getting weird initiative stuff going on here. Oh, and the only people who get experience are the people who participated in battle. Oh, I don't like that. Yeah, Rainy's gonna be behind now. Darn it! Okay. We'll do this. We'll try to at least get Rainy and Marco roughly equal. Oh. I can move the barrel. Why can I move the barrel? Why do I want to move this? Why is there a barrel there? I can't cut the tree down. Oh, hang on. Dang it! Let's hit auto battle. Marco leveled up? Wait, what? He did get experience? Did he just get less experience? Oh, that's not very well communicated, is it? I mean, that's great that it happened. Okay, well... we kind of need to catch up a little bit with Rosh, so we're going to leave these three in the party. Oh, hello. Are you friend? The recent heavy rains caused the river to flood and the bridge's foundation is damaged. It's too dangerous to cross the bridge until we've reinforced it. Oh, okay. Bye. Oh, what are you? Oh, you're cute! Oh, you're a cute lizard guy! I don't want to fight you, you're adorable! I want to give you hugs! Can I give you hugs? I'm not fighting you. You're too cute. I'm going around you. I want to give him hugs. I'm looking for stuff, which is why I'm just not going. Oh, you're not cute. What? Okay. That was confusing. But okay. Also, it's nice that you also learned heal. That moves you. It should be all the way back. Let's change. Wait, do we want to change? No. How do I undo change? Oh no, okay. We just want... okay, we won't push assault. That'll take you back. Oh, well. Okay, that... that just kind of screwed that up. Oh well, I gotta be more thoughtful of that. This battle, it's not gonna matter. It's fine. We don't need to bring anybody forward, so we'll have you be next. And we will thunder... Actually, can you do left? No, you only do push assault. Oh, you know what we can do? Hang on. Okay. You can do push assault. You can do left assault on this guy. And then it's just a regular attack, but it's fine. On this square. There, we got two of them. Oh, and the initiative got messed up. Well, it's fine. We're just going to do left assault on you. And attack. We'll just attack. I really do wish that it showed, like, the amount of experience everybody gained. I'm guessing, based on what happened before, that anybody in the back only gets a partial amount of experience. But, how much? Like, how far is it lowered? I don't want to math that out. Okay. You're looking a little hurt, so let's use skill, heal, you. There. Can we? Good, you're asleep. Okay, now we get advantage. There. Only one of them left. We can just auto this. That wasn't too bad. I wonder if we can grind here for money. Because we're broke. I don't want to go this way yet. I want to finish exploring this area. What if there's goodies? What are these barrels? What do we do with the barrels? Like, we can move them, but then what? Well, that's probably the mine. Alright, hang on. Can we push them into the water? No. Well, what do we do with them? I don't know. Yeah, we'll figure it out later. Wait a minute. Oh, you can't change out? Okay, you can't change stock out. He's always in the group. Alright. Okay, I see how it is. We'll go ahead and save, though. West Alma Mine. Who are you? Are you a friend? I'm a traveling merchant. You should buy a lot to prepare for what's up ahead. It's all the... Oh, you have more things. Sleep Wing. Okay. Neat, but expensive, so we'll pass. Oh, geez, that was lucky. It's like that merchant almost got eaten by a fire... chicken. A fire chicken. Yeah, a chicken that's on fire. I was gonna say fire-breathing chicken, but I don't know that it actually breathes fire. Skill. We need you to go to the left. Oh, it's gonna make you all the way to the left, though. Well, then we'll do this. Then we'll push you... the back. Hang on. Yeah. And that leaves us with one chicken. Oh. See if this actually gets us more experience. Yeah, it increased it by 2, I guess. Do we? Hang on. We still can't do anything with that. Woo! Dang it. Oh, did I do the wrong way? I think I did. That's fine. Oh, you just move? You didn't bother to attack? Okay. We should be able to just auto this. Hey, we got a Metacloth. Oh, okay. We can't go this way either. Oh, phooey. Well, that takes... I guess that takes too long, so he has to grapple first. So it doesn't combo. Because that's twice that's happened. Oh, we're about to level up. Alright, we have to keep going that direction to get to Alma Mine. So what's... Okay, so that other place was not actually Alma Mine. I'm getting some faint Mabinogi vibes from this particular song. Oh, hello. You seem to be trapped back there. How to fix? Wait, are these explosive? Hang on. If they're explosive, how do I fix that? How do I blow them up? Do I just hit them? No. Maybe this is a later thing. We don't know how to handle rocks yet. We can move barrels, so there's something we have to do with the barrel, right? Oops, get that out of the way. Can you use... No. I was gonna say, can you use thunder? But I guess not. So, yeah, this must be a later thing. Okay. Maybe we'll figure that out. But it is not a today thing. And that's fine. It's kind of like this. I don't know what this does either. But I probably bring that over here. Oh yeah, because there's a chest. Yeah. Okay, these barrels must be explosive. It's the only thing I can think of. But we don't have a way to light them yet. So... Hey, kids inside this book, can you tell me how to light things on fire and explode them? Okay, so I need to change with you. So we'll grapple you forward. Do left assault on you. And then just a regular attack. And then thunder. No. Oh, it did work. That worked. We didn't get anything special for it, but that's okay. Oh, we're looking a little beat up. Oh. And 5,000 is a lot to be paying for a restore. So maybe we just use items. We got 10 of these. How much do they cost? $200 HP. God, these are so expensive. Okay. I think what we're gonna have to do, because that's so expensive. Well, no, maybe we'll be alright. Okay, the bees don't... Look at you! Look at how adorable he is! Look at how adorable! He's so... Oh no. What are you called? Bush lizard. He's so cute! I can't hurt him. We're running away. We're not gonna hurt a bush lizard. They're so cute! Oh, we exited. Oh, okay. Well then, what we can do, we can go to the inn, and then we can go back to where we need to go. That's gonna be a lot cheaper. Maybe we can upgrade our armor. We are kind of taking a lot of damage. Actually, can we upgrade our armor? I don't know that I saw any upgrades. Wait, no, bronze armor, maybe? Bronze mail, yeah. Yeah, that's an extra 6. He's got defensive 35 already. Yeah, we need to give these to this. You guys need this. Okay. And then you get one as well. That's a little better. Okay. We need to get you attack, magic, HP 3. Oh, these are expensive though. That's a lot. Yeah, we're... Oh, we should sell our old armor. That's money. Yeah. There, we got a little money. And yeah, we'll sell this too. It's not who I wanted to have equip it. Let's give this to Marco. He needs the defense boost. Okay, that's looking better. Attack 35, attack 41. Let's actually give this charm to Rainy. Yeah, I think you need that a little more. That'll work. Oh, that's -2? Never mind. Okay. That's looking a little bit better. Oh, hi. You must be Captain Roche and Sergeant Stock. I've been waiting for you. That's us all right, but who are you? I'm the field agent in this area. I've got orders to update you on the situation at the Alma mine. All right, that should be helpful. How's it looking? First, you should know about the enemy. It seems we're up against Count Selvin's troop. Selvin? He's the one everyone knows as the brain-supporting deist from the shadows, isn't he? We're up against a bigger fry than I imagined. We absolutely can't fail this mission or we'll be in deep trouble. They won't give us ice cream after dinner. I agree, but here we have a problem. What do you mean? This side of the entrance is blocked by a rock slide at the moment. So the plan was to clear it with explosives and enter the mine. but we've lost contact with the merchant who was meant to deliver the explosives. And that's all I have for you. You can get more details from the other soldiers further in. My next mission awaits, so if you'll excuse me. Okay, bye. This is bad. We need to make a move before the enemy gets their footing, but we can't even get inside. Seriously. Not only that, but Selvin's troops are on the move. We should go see what shape the entrance is in. My, that's a tight seal. Keppa, you left entirely too early. Hang on. Screenshot as... Save that to desktop. I'll send that to Keppa later in Discord. Captain Rosh, about the situation report. It's like, sorry to distract you, sir, but there's something more important. I heard the gist of it, or the gist of it, from the informant, but more importantly, has a scout been sent out yet? No, sir, we're a little short-handed. Oh boy, that's not good. Even if we sent someone out now, and he did manage to acquire explosives, it'd be dusk. But without those explosives, we're pretty much sitting ducks. Captain Rosh, don't we have the thaw machines with us? If we had those, I could move those rocks single-handedly. But do you honestly think they keep such expensive weapons in holes like this? Of course not. I just wanted to ride a thaw machine. Just once in my life. Well, they're being produced by an engineer named Fennel in Alasdel's lab, if you care. Regardless, we have to focus on our current problem. Even my gauntlet is useless on this. If we can't go in any further, why don't we just ambush them here? If their goal is to get inside Alasdel territory, they'll have to come through here anyway. Well, generally speaking, an ambush would give us the upper hand in battle. Stock, what do you think? Give up on the explosive and ambush the enemy here, or send a man out to find the merchant? I have to think about this one carefully. Oh, it didn't create a node, though. I wonder what happened to the merchant. Why can't we do both? Well, I'm not entirely sure what to do here. I guess we'll wait an ambush for now. We can always go back if we screw it up. Should we wait for the enemy ambush and ambush them here? Let's ambush them. We can't spare a single soldier to be out on a wild goose chase. And taking the lack of training that soldiers like Keel have into account, it's a good plan. You're right, an ambush would be an efficient way to make sure we're ready for Selvin's troops. Okay, Keel, you heard the man. Gear up the brigade. Yes, sir, yes, sir. The Rosh Brigade ambushed the Grenorg forces in Alma Mine. It was a plan that would prove successful. The Grenorg soldiers were mowed down at the hand of the valiant men in the Rosh Brigade. The problem was time. Despite their victory, the hard-fought battle proved too time-consuming. Grenorg's forces were dispatched not only to Alma Mine, but to the Sand Fortress as well. Once the Sand Fortress fell, Grenorg's march on Alasdel was unimpeded. It was only a matter of time before Alasdel was seized by the full might of Grenorg. Okay, so this is a story thing. Rosh and his brigade were destined to face the futility of many impossible battles. The fallen capital. Finn. Wait. That's an ending? The closed mine has been added as a node. You've returned, Stock. Ambushing the enemy was a good idea, but your timing wasn't so good. You ended up getting attacked from two sides. It's not impossible to take back the Sand Fortress, but the world will turn to sand by the time you can accomplish it. You're going to have to go back in time to reverse this mistake. Stock, you must use Historia. What do you make of that soldier? He wore an Alistel uniform, but... you don't think this was Grenorg's doing, do you? No, something about it seems strange. An assassin would have acted faster. True, and then there's the way he died. Sand plague, most likely. It's a mysterious phenomenon that causes people to turn suddenly into sand. I've read about it, but this is my first time seeing it up close. So this is probably why we've got a skip button, since we've already seen this. So now we're at the point where we need to make a choice between joining him or joining, staying with Heiss. Now the question is, okay, so we remain level 6. Does everybody else stay level 6? I don't know. What about our equipment? Okay, well, I kept that. Does everybody else's equipment stay the... Oop. Whoops. Okay, so we're gonna go back. We're gonna do... We're gonna join the brigade. We're gonna have this scene again, and this is the... What is your name again? What is... Hold on. Hugo, okay. So that's who Hugo is. So, sometimes it takes me a couple of tries to, like, put things together. So they have this conversation. So this is, I'm assuming that none of this is going to change. At least yet. I kind of wish that it would have let us, instead of just return to that place, like go, like bring up Historia so that we can go to the node that we just created. Instead of redoing all this. I wonder if... I imagine that a speedrun takes full advantage of this. I'll have to see if there's a... Well, no, I'm not going to see if there's a speedrun of this game yet. Because if I do that, then I'll be spoiled. Okay, good. They kept their experience levels too, and also their equipment. Good. Okay. So that's handy. So the fact that I equipped them, and I guess commanded them, is kind of keeping them at level 6. Okay, and it didn't unreveal parts of the map. Okay. And then if we go to Historia, let's see what that puts us at. Actually, I'm going to save before I go there. Why is this still on the prologue? Okay, oh. Interesting. Okay, so this shows us a bad ending. With the little broken thing. Stock decided to ambush the enemy was a big loss of time. While his party stayed with the mission, a detached force stormed the capital. Alistel is lost. And we can travel here. Okay. We're going to have to explore this, because I think I do need to wrap up, unfortunately. Alright. We just saved, right? Just to be on the safe side. Yeah. Okay. Alright. This is interesting. It's a little bit like some dating sims that I've seen people play. Where it's like, it shows you the branching path, but it's, you know, JRPG. So, this is interesting. I'm kind of looking forward to continuing our play of this next week. For right now, though, let's see who's on that we can send you over to say hello. Let's see. What is this? Looks like he's playing an arcade game. Let's go say hi to Gresco. Alright. That'll do it. Come back on Friday. We will be back with some Neverwinter Nights with Reppenwolf and Argok. As we wrap up for the night, though, I do want to remind you all that you matter, you are important, you are cherished, and you are missed when you're not around. And that includes you, Grin. You deserve to be you. You can conquer the challenges that come your way. Have courage, be strong, and until next time, take care. Bye for now.